I believe there's a plateau which is ours to protect, and anyone who stands in the way is a clog to the wheel of a united progressive plateau.
And I believe that Plateau State is bound to take the lead in the Committee of States as far as Nigeria is concerned. And there's so much to be done for a state like Plateau.
And we look forward to that plateau of our dream, where all the ethnic nationality on Plateau State will have equal opportunity, and collectively we can all put our hands together on the deck and build the best.
Good morning, Dr. Nentawe Yilwatda.
Good morning.
Yeah, welcome. This is Viewpoint Nigeria, Straight Talk with Dakwam Longo. I'm happy to host you this morning. Good morning, sir.
No, good morning.
Yes, sir. So, who is Dr. Nentawe Yilwatda?
Dr. Nentawe is he's Ngazbai tribe, son of Plateau State. I read electrical engineering. I hold a PhD in digital electronics, digital system engineering. Currently the INEC Commissioner Benue State, after serving for a number of years as a lecturer, university lecturer. Briefly, that's just my person.
Okay. So, one striking thing that you just said now is you are a son of Plateau State.
Yes.
So let me take you up on that. The son of Plateau State.
Yes.
What is your own view when Plateau people say the Plateau Project? Plateau Project. I believe you've heard of that before.
Yeah.
So as a son of Plateau State, what's your view on the Plateau Project?
There's a dream of our founding fathers of a great plateau, and the dream of Plateau and attending the zenith of greatness. And I'm sure it's a collective project that every person in Plateau will work towards achieving it. That's their own dream. And I'm sure also the dream is to ensure that there's the collective greatness comes with collective achievement, which means that there's justice for everybody across Plateau State. The interest of Plateau State itself is protected. And of course, as you know, once there's an interest, you must have people fighting the interest of that greatness. So our, as Plateau indigenes or sons of Plateau State or people that live on the plateau, our job is to ensure that we protect that interest that will get us to attain that greatness and equality across the state, and open opportunity for everybody so that all the nationalities on the plateau will have equal opportunity of attaining greatness, which means you reach a point where the least person on the plateau can work and achieve his dream without any hindrance.
Okay, so far what has been our aim towards achieving that dream?
Now, it's just like what's common with every other dream. Dreams normally comes with a lot of opposition and things that slows them down. Of course, we have deficit in several, perspective. First, we have some value deficits and also institutional deficits that we require to build on and capitalize on to attain those greatness. You don't attain greatness without institutions. You don't attain greatness without value system. So what are the value system we've created as a state that will give us the greatness that we required? What are the institutional build-up that we've put as a Plateau people to attain those greatness? These are the two key critical issues that we need to look at as Plateau people and work towards building them to attain the dream of our lives.
Okay, sir. You hit the nail. We don't attain without building institutions. Well, so let me just refer you to the speech of Governor Lano on the 29th of May 2019, where he said, and I quote, that we should be able to think Plateau and act Plateau. Is that part of the dream?
Of course. When you discuss about giving opportunity for everybody on the plateau, and creating opportunity for everybody, it doesn't just go with governance alone. It also goes with the lead, people that have been led. And for me, as a person, when you look at the perspective of you think Plateau and act Plateau, which means that the interests of Plateau supersede anything your personal interests or the collective interests of Plateau should supersede your personal interests, your tribal interests, your regional interests, your maybe your association interests, but the greater interest of Plateau should override any other interest that we have as individuals or collective group of people that we have across the state. Very important for us. And I think thinking Plateau here is looking at what are those key things that can get Plateau great. What are the opportunities that are on the Plateau that we can capitalize on? What are the low fruits that we have on the Plateau that can get us great? What are the opportunities, the human capacity we have that we need to build to give us the best out of Plateau State? What can we tap? You know, because if you look at an average Plateau man is great. An average Plateau man is intelligent. Anywhere you see any form of greatness, it starts from Plateau. Check football. All the best footballers from in Nigeria came from Plateau. Check the head of state. Even the Prime Minister of UK, some of them were born on the Plateau. So most of the major people across, yes, most of the Major himself, who was former Prime Minister of UK, was born in Plateau. So you have a lot of people who were born in Plateau, they grew on Plateau, and so Plateau is almost like a footprint for greatness. So it's left for us also, who are indigenous of Plateau State, to tap on those greatness and achieve what we intend to have as a state.
So Doc, every good thing comes from Plateau. Is that
yes.
a categorical statement?
Very categorical. Okay. Now let me just tell you, have you ever checked the scene of Plateau State? Plateau was a melting point of all tribes in Nigeria, not even Lagos, before independence. You could get every tribe in this country on the Plateau. No state in the north or in Nigeria had the opportunity apart from Plateau State. Every person in the 60s and 70s and 80s wanted a home on the Plateau. All the former head of states wanted a home in Plateau State. What was their reason? Shagari used to spend his holiday in Plateau. He would take a leave and come to Plateau State. People used to take leave across other nations and come to Plateau State to spend holidays. It tells you that there's something unique about Plateau State that we will not be able to actually capitalize on. So what I want to do is trace back what are the factors and the reasons that made former head of states, people come from different countries. I recall as somebody in primary school, President Yedemin of Togo. He came to Nigeria. The first place he visited was Plateau State. He came to my primary school. He waved us. We shook hands with him. I had the opportunity of shaking hands with the former president as a primary school student. These are the kind of opportunity that people dream of across Nigeria they will never have. So Plateau actually has potential for greatness if we actually nurtured those dreams that our founding parents had, because somebody created this environment for those people to come. What were the factors that led to those creations that brought and harvested people across all walks of life across the nations? Why is it that the highest number of white men in those days were on the Plateau? What made it different today? What made, Hillcrest was the best secondary school across the whole country. All ambassadors sent their kids to Hillcrest in Plateau State. Plateau was the anchor of the best education across the country. I recall when I was schooling in Gindri, boys secondary school Gindri, I had classmates across the whole country. So why is it that we were losing those tourism? Because education tourism was in Plateau State as of that time, because the best schools were on the Plateau. The natural tourism was on the Plateau that time. Presidents could come and spend holidays in Nigeria, on the Plateau. Is the military, because most trainings of the military men ended up on Sherry Hills. So what made Plateau that unique? That almost every form of tourism, military, social tourism, people used to host all their activities. Different international organizations, even banks, and host their GM across Plateau State. So what made it so different today? So I think we need to retrace those things that made us great that time and build on those low fruits and get to the zenith of what we want to achieve as a dream of our founding fathers.
Okay, that the Plateau Project will work stronger
thank you.
and will get in the minds of people and Plateau be great.
That's our dream, and we look forward to that plateau of our dream, where all the ethnic nationalities on Plateau so we have equal opportunity, and collectively we can all put our hands together on the deck and build the best land, the greatest state across the whole country. Let's be the envy of other nations.
For now, we will say that the mantle is in Benue as the REC.
Yes, yes. Okay. And mark you know, all of us keep on distinguishing ourselves across all the offices that we're given. If you pick a Plateau man anywhere, because the uniqueness that we have, I told people that if there's anything that makes us different, a Plateau man is differentiated by some unique qualities only found in the Plateau. Thank you so much. Thank you.